Ladies and gentlemen, get your coats out because crypto winter is here and it is going to last quite a while, in my opinion. But that's not stopping me. That's not stopping BeatzCoin, and that's not stopping many in the crypto space. And it really shouldn't stop you. Yeah, I know it's really tough and it's easy to be down and out. It's easy to say hodl over and over again. It's easy to say, hey, just be patient. It's eventually going to go back up. Blah, 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 blah. You guys have probably heard it all already. But I wanted to throw in my 2 cents in this intro and go over some important details that maybe you guys can find useful. So 1, crypto is a new asset. And the technology is still fairly new and it's being developed to new levels in different industries, like what we're doing with BeatzCoin and music. 2, look at other similar historical events. Look at the dot-com bubble. See the time it took for companies to recover. Which companies survived, which companies thrived, which companies failed. There's so much intel that you can get from that, and then you can kind of connect the whole timeline with blockchain. But the third point I wanted to mention was the most important one. And this is not financial advice because I'm not a financial advisor anymore. I did have my Series 6 and 63 back in the day when I was a younger kid in the banking industry. But make sure you aren't investing money you aren't willing to lose within your timeline. So let me tell you a little story. I got married when I was young, 20 years old. And I started working at the bank at 19 years old. And I thought I was a cool kid because I had my investment licenses. I had my investment accounts. I had $4,000 that I had invested in mutual funds. And boom, 2008 came and that money was worth probably about $2,400. So it was a, 40% hit. But I had to take that money out. Even though I knew that eventually it would come back up, I had to take that money out because I had to pay for the wedding, right? That's what was more important at that time. So, if you have $1,000 or $2,000 extra to put in crypto, but, you need a down payment for a car because your car is breaking down, or, if you're ready to buy a house for the first time and you've got 10 grand saved up for your down payment, but, oh man, Tron's at 2 cents. I think it's going to be 5 cents in January. So let me put all my money in there. That might not be the most wisest decision because you just never know. Investing involves risk. So that's my 2 cents. Anyways, I hope you guys find my talk with Crypto Tone very beneficial. The guy keeps it real 100% of the time. Just watch his YouTube videos and you'll see. This guy's passionate about crypto. And he had a lot of insightful things to say about it, about Tron, about the music industry. And we probably could have talked for 5 or 6 hours, but we managed to condense it into a good, hour of your time. So hope you enjoy it. All right, I'm with the one and only Crypto Tone. What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Alex? What's going on, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing in this bloodbath of a market that we're dealing with this week?
Oh, man, let me tell you, bro. It's been tough. I mean, and I've been getting on my channel just, trying to keep everybody calm because this is just the type of stuff that happens in crypto. Crypto is a fairly new asset class. It's deemed an asset class now by, the bigger, the powers who be, I guess you could say. And it is what it is. These whales they're gonna whale, I guess you could say. They got a shit ton of money, and they're just gonna do what they do. They're gonna crash the market until they feel necessary, and it's a shame. It really is. But hey, at the end of the day, a deflationary asset. You know, all these coins that come out are all deflationary at the end of the day. So, you know, it's not something you could just go with quantitative easing and keep printing like the U.S. dollar. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
you know, it's tough, but hey, we're hanging in there. We're hanging in there, still alive.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't really expect anything as far as what we had happen, you know, at the end of last year, beginning of this year. But if it happens, that's going to be great. As long as we have, you know, the actual solid projects, you know, start to increase in its value and gain popularity and actually start being used, we're going to be fine, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. I mean, a lot of the younger generation is now getting into these digital assets. Everybody's on their phone. Everybody has a supercomputer in their pocket for the most part. And
Right.
in order for us to have mass adoption, you know, we need to have things like crypto wallets and things of that nature where we can hold our crypto on there and be able to use it in real life activity. You know, you got a lot of crypto cards coming out with Visa backed logos and things like that, which is a good start. You know, as you know, in China, it's already, you know, with the QR codes and basically a whole cashless system over there. You know, we're far behind them in here in America. And, you know, I think only time will tell when we kind of, you know, the world gets its shit together. Is it okay if I curse on here? Because, you know, I do that a bit on my channel. I'll try not to.
Try not to, but just in case, I'll put like a
Yeah.
rated M or something.
Yeah. No, we're not gonna get too crazy.
We know you're not doing it with a bad intent. You're doing it because of your passion, you know. Those curse words have meaning. It's not just, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, when I start getting into stuff, I really, you know, start getting passionate about it. It's what it is, you know. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it's just a matter of time, I believe, before mass adoption occurs. And right now, we're at the forefront of, you know, of the beginning of the whole crypto space with Tron and with all these other coins that are coming out on the Tron network. It's just amazing to see and be a part of the community. And really just, you know, every day rock out these videos and just get news and get information. A lot of the times my subs will send me articles. I'll read from those articles or whatnot. And we'll just go over it and kind of, you know, just really just talk about it and see, you know, see what everybody thinks. And it's just, you know, my subscriber count has grown since.
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm really just trying to be there for the community and trying to do my thing, you know, just because I have the time on my hands and I love crypto, you know.
Yeah, that's the good thing, man. When I started watching your videos, I connected like instantaneously because I saw that you're for the community. You know, you're not claiming to be no expert or anything. You're just out there giving information and you've got a good personality to do it. And that's why I said, man, I got to have this guy on like immediately, like within 20 minutes of the video that you made talking about BeatzCoin. I was like, this guy is coming on the podcast and we're going to have a good time chatting. But everything that you said, I agree with 100%. We just got to figure out a way to make crypto easier to use. So it's not, It doesn't feel like it's that foreign for the people here because, you know, most of the people we talk to who've never heard of crypto, you know, all they hear is, oh yeah, Bitcoin, it went like really high and then it went really low. But
yeah, exactly.
It's going to take
people
time.
Just don't know. They just don't know what crypto is and what it's all about. And I got in through, you know, nefarious means, going through BitConnect and these lending platforms in the beginning. And then, you know, I mean, it sucks, you know, it really does. I like to tell my story, though, because at the end of the day, you know, we all got in some way. We all got scammed here or there. And, you know, it made me realize that, wow, you know, the psychology behind it is just, it's really telling because, you know, the fact that there's a scarce amount of coins and things of that nature on each individual protocol, you know, it really makes it so that it's deflationary, like I was stating earlier. So, you know, the fact that it's deflationary, you can't add coins and things like that, adds scarcity, and over time, people are going to see these as, you know, as like something like Bitcoin being, you know, possibly digital gold. It makes sense, and I've had analogies in the past in regards to like the Picasso painting. There's only one of those. I mean, how much could that potentially be worth? If it even has value, I mean, I'm sure, you know, it's got no price on it. But the fact, you know, if you go to like a Babe Ruth baseball, something like that, not everybody has a Babe Ruth signed baseball, and those have value. Why does it have value? Because the person thinks it has value. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you look at the U.S. dollar, it's depleted since the early 1900s, since it came out. And
Since the
they used
Federal
to back it
Reserve
by
started
gold.
backing it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I mean, it's and the way that they do that is you can't change the face of a dollar. A dollar is a dollar regardless any way that you look at it. But if you look at the price of things, everything has gone up. I mean, just from if you use a cup of coffee as an example. I mean, a cup of coffee in the 90s, I'm sure, was 50 cents. I don't know. I wasn't drinking coffee back then. But now look at it. You go to Starbucks, you're paying $3-4.
4 or 5.
You get or, well, if you get those like signature coffees, and you know what? You know what's funny about those? They put half of it with milk. So like, what the hell? I mean, they're killing it. Milk and sugar, and that's really all it is. It just tastes really good, and it's $5, and you can be all fancy with your pinky out drinking in Starbucks. For me, shit, I mean, you can go to McDonald's to get a good iced coffee, or you can even go to, I like Wawa. Wawa's got good coffee. But, the point is that it's too much. I mean, even if it's $1.50, it's a triple from where it was. And that's really telling in the world right now because of the fact that the dollar is just depleting and it can't continue. The scam can't continue forever.
Yeah. Oh,
now,
you're right.
Now,
look up for the people listening. Just look up on Google Images power of the dollar since the Federal Reserve, and it's going to show you a chart of how much the dollar has been devalued.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. Of the dollar depleting.
Exactly what you said. Once people see a value on it and the fact that it's deflationary, it's basic supply and demand, right?
Exactly.
But with that being said, let's talk about your crypto journey because I'm really intrigued to know about that. How did you start off in crypto? Take me from the very first moment to now.
So, I guess the first moment was really I bought a stock that was involved with Bitcoin, and it was like in January of 2017. I was in the stock market. I was just playing around, and I bought this stock. It was like really cheap penny stock, and I held it for about 3-4 months, and I sold the thing. I sold it at like April or something like that. Then all of a sudden, the thing blows up. It hits like $3, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
And this was when? What year?
This was in 2017. This was last year, basically.
Oh, okay.
And the thing exploded, and I was like, I was all salty about it. I didn't even look at crypto. I was in a trading group, and I was just trading stocks, trying to day trade, things like that. Got wrecked a bunch of times. It just got sick of it at the point and just said, fuck it. Excuse me. Sorry. Like I told you, it's hard for me to hold back on the cursing, but I'll try, like I said. So yeah, I had bought that stock, and then I sold it, was salty about it. And then, it was like Halloween. I think I had a Halloween party. I had a couple people over, and a friend of mine was there. My father-in-law was there, and my father-in-law was talking about Bitcoin. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard about Bitcoin. I'm not too into it. I don't really know what it is. And he's like, yeah, price is starting to go up and da-da-da. And I was like, whatever. I didn't really think about it. And then I had this stint where I was like, I started working out because I go through like, every like year I'll be like, you know what, I'm gaining 25 pounds. I got to start working out. So I started working out in my backyard, lifting weights, doing freaking jumping jacks, going for a run, stupid shit like that. And then all of a sudden I'm watching YouTube and this ad pops up and it's Craig Grant. I don't know if you know about Craig Grant, but he was a big BitConnect guy. And he was like, yeah, you make all this money with BitConnect and da-da-da. And I was like, oh, let me see what's up with this. So I started looking into it. I started watching videos on Bitcoin and what it was and it's deflationary and this, that, and the third. And ever since then, it was like that, man. It just clicked, and I was like, wow, this is some crazy stuff right here. So I got into it, and you know what? Immediately started watching like guys like Trevon James, Crypto Nick, all these guys that were big in the BitConnect space. And I just got into it. I threw some money into BitConnect. I was like, you know what? If it scams out, hey, it is what it is. I tried, and then I'll just end it from there. And then I started doing videos. I was getting views. I was like, this is pretty cool. And then, of course, in January, the thing crapped the bed, and it just didn't work out. And around that time, I was already kind of transitioning to the altcoins. I was trying to figure out, like, what coins were good and whatnot. So I would watch videos constantly on Tron and on all these other currencies. And then out of nowhere, I started following John McAfee, and he started pumping Tron. And I was like, what the hell is Tron?
I remember that.
And, he pumped Tron, and I bought it at, like, 4 cents. And I didn't buy a lot because I had a lot of other money invested in Bitcoin and whatnot because I thought Bitcoin was it. And
hey, real quick question though, did you lose everything on BitConnect or were you able to salvage some?
I had a lot of it in Bitcoin. So like every time I would I would make some money. I'd put it into Bitcoin. I'd leave some in the BitConnect coin. So I ended up losing. I ended up losing a majority, but I did end up with some Bitcoin because they gracefully allowed everybody to move their Bitcoin wallets, which was amazing. I was like, thank God. Had they did, I would have lost everything.
Wow.
But it didn't kill me at that point. I was still kind of looking at altcoins, starting to look at altcoins, but I was in the lending platform space, and I thought lending platforms were going to be the way to go because of the money that people were making. And then this other lending platform came up called Devor, and they were like, listen, buy the coin and just hold it. So I bought the coin at like $7, and the thing ran up to like $190. I ended up selling it at around $70, $80, and I actually made back the money from BitConnect. But what happened was I started putting it back into the other lending platforms, and all of those platforms do crap the bed, and it was just it was really sad. I was like, damn, man, you know, I thought that was it. I thought I was going to be good. And then, like I said, I flipped a switch one day. I think it was like February 6th. I watched the market crash to 6,000, and I was just like, oh my God, this is insanity. And I was like, you know, it just doesn't make sense, you know, like how they have so much hype, and then for it to just crash like that. And it actually made me more bullish. Because I knew that in the back of my head, everybody was getting in, and they were getting in because of the hype. But there was actually real
euphoria stage.
And there was real utility to it, and I kind of understood that because I have a pretty good understanding of money. I mean, when I was in college, I went to economics class, and I think the one day that I remember from college, because I went there for like a year, and I was like, screw this.
That's more than me. I lasted like 6 months.
It might have been less. I don't know. Maybe 11 months. Who knows? But anyway, I mean, I went to economics class, and the teacher was like, yeah, money's not backed by anything since 1971. It took it off the gold standard. And I raised my hand, and I never did that. And I'm like, wait a second. You're going to tell me that money is not backed by anything? And he's like, yeah, well, they took it off the gold standard. I said, well, what is it backed by? And he said, well, nothing, just the good faith of the federal government. I'm like, how the hell does that make any sense? I'm like, what? And it clicked in my head at that point. And I was like, you know what? I'm glad I came here, because had I not, I probably wouldn't have learned this information.
That's awesome.
Ever since then, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to make as much money as I possibly can, instead of giving my blood, sweat, and tears to a job in throughout my 20s. So I got a job. I had a couple of jobs, and I made as much money as I could. I got into real estate, did great, and then found myself in crypto with these lending platforms. And I was like, damn, man, I really made a mistake here. But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, you know, this isn't actually a mistake. It was a learning curve for me to understand crypto and to understand what it's all about.
Right. The best ways to learn are from mistakes. I mean, in my opinion.
Yes. It's like I went through crypto college. That's why in a lot of my videos I'll say, like, you know, I've been through war. I've lost fingers. I dropped an axe on my finger the other day, so, you know, I almost lost a finger in reality. But I'm losing limbs out here. You know, it's crazy out in these crypto streets. But, you know, even with Bitcoin going down to where it's at today, it's unfortunate. But at the end of the day, these bigger powers are out there doing what they have to do so that they can get in at a lower price. That's my belief, and I'm holding strong to that. We've seen the crypto market, and even if I wasn't in it before, but I've seen the history of the Bitcoin, of the crypto market, and what it does. And they always go down, and they come back up, and they go down, and they come back up. And it's really because people speculate that it's the new technology. And honestly, what else is? I mean, we really got to think about that and put that into perspective for ourselves. What is the new technology? It's not coal mining. It's not, just old dead technologies that we don't really use anymore. I mean, you know, I always make this point as well. Email took out the post office. It's tons of money from the post office. WhatsApp came out, took out phone cards in like 10 minutes. So, I mean, yeah. WhatsApp was bought up by Facebook for like $19 billion. It's like ridiculous. They were out for 2 years. Now you don't have to call your family out in Africa and pay $5 to do that. You could do it for free over Wi-Fi. What do you think is next? They're not going to let you send U.S. dollar from your phone over to Africa to whoever it is. You got to go through Western Union. That costs a lot of money. They're making $14 billion a year when we have means to move money super quick now. And I mentioned yesterday about Tron. Dude, through within the network, I mean, you're moving coins within the network to your wallet in seconds. I mean, seconds, dude. It's not even like, you know, you don't even have to worry about it. As long as you get the address right. The whole address thing, is probably the one thing we need to work on, because the addresses are long and people get scared to send crypto. People are not going to send crypto unless
even when you're copy pasting.
Dude, I get so scared when I send crypto. I start sweating sometimes. I'm like, oh shit, man, this is insane. You know, like,
the email if the email doesn't come in like 20 seconds, you're like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, and then sometimes where you have your private key saved and you copy it, and there's a space, and you're like, oh crap, why is it not going through? And then you're like, oh geez, there was a space. You gotta figure that out. So it's not user friendly as of yet, which makes me happy about that fact, because now we have ways to improve to get people into crypto. Which shows that people like me and you are in early. We're not in late, dude. We're in early.
Nope.
As anything.
I like to say that we're on the toddler stage. You know, we're not in the infant stage, but we're not in the kid stage. We're in the toddler stage, like the 2-3-year-old stage. Yeah.
And I mean, again, I go look at the record industry. What happened with the record industry? You had records, you had vinyl, you had
we'll be talking about
8-track, you had tapes, you had CDs, you had MP3s. Now look what we have. It's like, I mean, come on. I mean, and another thing, just to get into that, that's what kind of drove me to BeatzCoin. I was like, wow, this is cool. Yeah. This is really cool.
We got to figure out a way to make it work for everyone, because people aren't buying music anymore. But I want to focus a little bit on Tron, because most of your videos you're talking about Tron. I want to learn how did you get into Tron?
So yeah, I mean, when McAfee had pumped it, I bought it at 4 cents. I bought like maybe $300 worth, and it ran up to 30 cents. I didn't sell it, and I was up tremendously on all my alts, which the only alt that I sold was Ripple. When they came out and said, oh, it's centralized this and that. And at that time, I was an anarchist. And I'm like, screw that. I'm dumping this thing. And I had
That's
a really
funny.
good
I did the exact
Ripple.
same thing, bro. I did the exact same thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I sold was Ripple. Made like $500 on that, and that's it. Everything else, I wasn't smart enough to sell at the top.
So I ended up selling Ripple, and then everything dumped. And I was like, oh, my Lord. And it was insanity. But I started watching videos on Tron. And there was this chartist guy, Hajin Lee. I used to watch all his videos. And this guy was so funny, man. He still does videos every now and then, but I don't pay him too much mind, because he's like he was extremely too bullish. Now when he puts out a video once in a while, he's like, yeah, Bitcoin's going down to 3,000, da 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 da. So I don't even deal with that anymore, because I just don't want to look at it. I'm like, whatever. But he started pumping Tron, and he was like, Tron's gonna go to the moon, and he had this one video with like 70,000 views as of today. Actually popped up on my YouTube the other day. Wow, I remember that video. And he was like, Tron's going to go crazy and this, that, and the third. And I was like, let me buy a little Tron at like, I think I bought it at like 10 cents or something like that. And, after the lending platforms kind of dumped the bed, I was kind of looking for something. And, I had a crossroads for like 2 weeks where I was doing things on my channel that I was just like, what am I doing? And then I started coming across Tron. I started learning about it. I took a look at the white paper and things like that. And I was like, wow, this could actually be way better than Ethereum. And if it is to come to fruition, then, hey, we might benefit from this. And I started doing Tron videos, and I was getting tons of views. And I just kind of fell in love with the community and just whenever there's a community like that, you want to be a part of it, because everybody believes in what they're seeing, and or at least want to believe what they're hearing and things like that. And it's crazy because, I'm so glad that I got into it, because everything that I thought was going to happen, or that I was speculating that was going to happen, has happened up to this point. And it's just, they've had a tremendous victory in the crypto space. And regardless of the price and whatnot, I really think that Tron is just going to be huge, and the hype behind it, and all the speculation, and the haters are almost gone. I mean, it's crazy, because I don't see any more haters coming on my page. I mean, sometimes I do. And, it's funny, because, I'll get a hater come on the page, and then I'll have, 10 comments under them. And they're like, you effing bag holder, this, that, and the third. And then I chime in, and everybody, they it's like they,
he gang up on them.
He came into the restaurant. Everyone's like, get out. It's so funny, dude. And it's awesome, because it's like the community is strong. I have so many subs that are that are just like, Tone, I'm with you. This is our thing. We're gonna do good. And I tell everybody, look, keep your head up, keep your chin up, because it's just right now is just a bear market, and there's really not much we can do about it. We just got to let, the powers do what they got to do, get these coins for cheaper, unfortunately, and then, we got to kind of sit there and wait and be patient. I mean, no one can take a day. Unfortunately, we all wanted it to. We all thought it was going to kind of make everybody rich in the beginning of the year, but that just didn't happen.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
true.
man, I'm stuck in the space, and Tron is still, my number one favorite coin. I still think Bitcoin's digital gold. I don't see why it wouldn't be. There's too many things out there coming out with Bakkt, and you got Fidelity coming into the game, and TD Ameritrade, and Morgan Stanley calling it an asset class. I mean, it's only time will tell when this comes to fruition, and I think that Bitcoin's going to take all the coins with it eventually. It always does. Why would it be different this time?
Yeah, because when Bitcoin goes up, everything else goes up. Because, let's say Tron is at 350 sats, and that's worth, X amount of Bitcoin, X amount of dollars. If Bitcoin is going up, then all of a sudden, even if you stay at 350 sats, that Tron is worth more in dollars, right? So it's a win-win. But I think those are the safest bets.
See, that's another thing that, yeah, and I mean, that's another thing that people don't really understand. I do all my videos in Satoshi because Bitcoin runs the market. It doesn't really matter. I mean, take Ripple, for example, right now, with what they have going on. There's a lot of speculation behind it right now, and they have, the price versus USD is down, but the Satoshi value is up. And people are like, I don't understand that. And that's because Bitcoin just dropped $2,000. So it's kind of hard to get mass adoption when people don't truly understand what they're getting themselves into.
Yeah, if you look at the USD pairings or the USDT, a lot of coins will have, they're very low now on the Satoshi pairing. But now, if you look at Ripple itself, their BTC pairing actually has a ton of volume, at least through Binance. So I'm assuming that'd be the same, across other exchanges too.
Yes. Yeah. No. Well, I look at Poloniex because Poloniex has the most data. Ripple, and a lot of people don't know this, back in mid 17 actually went up a higher Satoshi value than it did when it hit $3.80. And again, people don't really understand that. They look at the USD value, but newbies that come into the market can't buy Ripple XRP on USD value because there's really no ways to do it. I put on my channel, look, you can get on Uphold, you can get on Bittrex, and now they have USD pairings in many states as well for Tron. But people just don't understand it. They don't understand why you have to buy Bitcoin first and then go through that whole nightmare. And I remember back when the hype was there, I had friends calling me back from Jersey, and they were like, dude, how do I get into Ripple? And I'm like, well, here's what you got to do. You got to buy Coinbase. You got to go on Coinbase. You got to buy Bitcoin. Then you send the Bitcoin over to Binance. And then on Binance, you're going to buy Ripple. And they're like, what? What the heck is that? What's Binance? And then I had one friend that was like, I can't even open up a Binance account right now. Because there was a time back in
those were the days, man.
January. Yeah, those were the days. There was like 3 weeks of you couldn't. Everything was locked up. So
and then it opened up. It's like, everybody, it's open. Hurry.
Yeah, they're the price shit. So I mean, it is what it is. Unfortunately, the newbies and the speculators are going to get hit the most. Fortunately, I wasn't buying too many vaults at that time, but unfortunately, I was in the lending platform, so kind of a bad thing. But at the same time, like I said, it's crypto college. It got me into some of these alts, and I'm still here, man. A lot of people that were on YouTube back then are not even there anymore. They're gone because they're like, there's no hype, or they lost money, they took their L's. I'm not taking the L, man. I'm with it for the long run, and I just plan on keep going with Tron and all these other cryptos, and believing that it's the future.
It's not even hard to do that with Tron because you see what they're doing day in and day out as far as their development, as far as their marketing. Like, there's always something going on, all these projects. So, yeah, you can get discouraged by the price, but it's like a ticking time bomb. Like, it's eventually going to go off, and, just like Ethereum did. I mean, you're looking at the better version of Ethereum.
I mean, and then see, that's the thing, is that I always mention that Ethereum was $1 back in 2016, $1. And now we have so many easier ways to get into crypto now than we did back in 16. And people say, well, it's because of the market cap and this, that, and the third. And I don't really necessarily agree. no one in their right mind would have said that Ethereum would have went from $1 to $1,500. There's no way to actually gauge that. And not one person in their right mind said that. And it happened. And, people were laughed at. And that's why when people come on my page and they're like, oh, Tron can't hit $5, Tron can't hit $10. And I'm like, how did Ethereum do it? And this is the better Ethereum. You get what I'm saying? Like we're only getting more people involved in crypto that are believers as time goes on.
Right. And I do think it's going to be a while till you talk about those margins just because the supply is so large. But still, you're talking about, $1. That's extremely feasible. And when that happens, that's what, 50x of what we're at now? Shoot.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, I don't see why this time would be any different than times that we didn't have what we have today. We have they have it on CNBC. They talk about Bitcoin. They have ticker symbols. They're in the news. I mean, it's you have apps now. You have easier ways to get in every single day. More exchanges. Tron's getting added to a new exchange almost every day. It's almost insane to think that the next bull run is not going to be bigger than this one. And that's why I truly believe that the next bull run has to be bigger. It only makes sense, and especially for Bitcoin, because it's a deflationary asset and it's digital gold. It's only going to continue to go. More Bitcoins are lost every single day or stolen or whatnot. And, as long as you don't get scammed in the space, then you should be good. And I even get on, sometimes I do videos about these newer lending platforms that come out, and I try and educate people because there's going to be people that are going to get into these things where they see USD value on a screen, and then the platform scams out, and they're just doing it to get more Bitcoin so that they can hodl those Bitcoins because they know where it's going. Had you just hodled Bitcoin from 2015, shut the computer, didn't do YouTube, weren't in the space, and then sold it back in 17, you'd be rich and you'd have no stress. You get what I'm saying? Like, you would have had no stress whatsoever if you just invested in it and never looked at it again. And that's the problem, is that as humans, we're always trying to be greedy, and we're trying to get the best bang for our buck and things like that. And that's, a lot of the times, that's not the way to go, and we don't really understand that, especially as normal average citizens that are middle class or whatnot, that are speculators on investing, but aren't like true, real deal investors that are accredited. And that's why they have all these laws and things within the government, because a lot of people get scammed. Then they want to go cry to the SEC, and the SEC is like, look, we can't do anything for you. And, you got to have $1 million if you're an accredited investor to be able to invest in an IPO. You have to, because they don't want normal people getting involved and then losing their life savings. And that's exactly what happened with BitConnect. I'm sure the suicide rate went up and whatnot. It's a scary thing. It's scary to think about. Really? But people just need to realize that crypto, we're moving into a new realm for the most part, and the last thing to move forward is money, and that's why I'm so intrigued by it, because it's the last thing that we have to basically save ourselves from all the BS that the government puts out there and things like that. I mean, like I said, if the U.S. doesn't come out with something similar and screw everything up, then we should be good. However, it's just kind of time will tell. You got to be a realist about it. A lot of people are like, no, crypto's it. And I'm like, look, you got to hope that the government doesn't get involved, where they start creating FedCoin and things like that, because then we're in a worse situation.
FedCoin, oh my God. FedCoin.
That would be terrible. It really would be. You got to think about these things as an investor. You can't look at it from just one side and say Bitcoin is it.
No, most definitely.
You have to look at it from both sides. And although I am pretty much a Bitcoin person and I really believe in it, I was going to say maximalist, but I'm really not a maximalist, because I guess I'm into all these other altcoins. If you're into altcoins, you're not really a maximalist.
That's true. I want to go back to when you said the word greed, like people and their greed, and then I want to kind of translate that back to Tron, because if you start thinking about it, Tron is the opposite of greed, because think about how their whole system works. It's a democratic system that gives rewards back to the people who invest in it and who are transacting on the protocol, but it's also investing on these dApps and on these projects that are building on Tron. So, they can be taking that money for themselves, but they're not. They're putting it back into the community. So maybe that's sacrificing the price in the short term, but in the long run, it's going to help, all these projects. And did you hear about the Nitron Summit with they're going to give away $1 million?
Yes, I remember you sent me a tweet or something like that. Yeah, I did see something like that, which is cool, man. I mean, they got a lot of great things ahead for them. I mean,
they're always giving
like
back,
you just said.
if you notice.
Yeah, I mean, like Justin Sun went to the there was a conference, and the guy from Binance was there. CZ from Binance, the guy who runs the show over there, and he was like gave like $3 million or something like that. I mean, it's things like that shows us that this is a company that I want to be a part of. You know what I mean? It's a company that I want to be a part of. And yeah, the system that they have with the super representatives is pretty genius. I mean, I didn't even really, I didn't dig into the white paper too much when I first got involved, and I didn't even really know that was going to happen. But when I heard about it, I was like, why would I not do it? You have your coins on their network. Instead of having it on Binance or on your ledger or whatnot, you have it on their network. And you can always access it with your private keys. You can unfreeze it. You can freeze it. You can do whatever you want with it, and it's secure on the network. So for me, that makes me feel, warm and fuzzy inside as an investor. And the fact that I get to earn more Tron is like a no-brainer for me. And I tell everybody almost every day, get on Tron Scan, vote your Tron if you're a conservative investor like me. If you're more, because they had the dApps come out and things like that. And I'm like, look, stay away from the dApps, because at the end of the day, people are saying they're making money, but you never watch YouTube videos where people aren't, or where people are losing. I mean, sometimes you get guys come out and say they got hacked. Well, that's why I've been gone, because I got hacked and this, that, and the third. But, I mean, do you really want to be that guy that's going to put up your Tron that you worked hard for, your hard-earned money, basically, and you're going to put it into a dApp in the midst of this bear market? Is it really worth it?
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm always just trying to educate the community, because there's a lot of people out there that just don't get it.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. The DEX, it looks cool. It looks awesome. I like it. But, I mean, most of these projects, it's all based on faith, There's a reason why BeatzCoin isn't on the DEX yet. Because we feel like we haven't proved anything. And if anything, all we're going to do by going on there is pump and then dump. Because that's exactly what happens with all these coins. So why not build your value through actions and through reaching milestones? Then you launch when you're actually ready to be on there, when you have your utility and everything. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. I mean, part of investments are speculation, right? So you might win, you might lose, but I mean, to go out here and preach that, you can make so much money by trading Tron tokens on the DEX. But hey, it's a good feature.
There's a lot of guys on Twitter that I follow that I really respect. I like them a lot. However, there's too many guys out there just that were pumping the DEX last week. It was getting to the point where it was like, we need to sit back a little bit, because people are gonna start buying these coins too high, and they're gonna dump. That's just what's gonna happen. I mean, I could see the future with that, and a lot of them did. A lot of them dumped. They didn't dump like I had thought they would. That's why I was waiting for a dip. I did get in on a couple of them. But you start hearing on Twitter, these guys are making, we just tripled our Tron and tripled this and tripled that. I kind of take everything with a grain of salt, because you don't know who's full of crap and who's not. A lot of these people get on there and they say one thing, and at the end of the day, they really did another, and they're just really trying to pump them. And I don't really think that's the best thing to do. Now the info site was the first site that I had seen. It's like trx.info.org or something like that. And which, I really I wasn't really feeling it. It kind of had this like lending platform vibe, the way it was like WordPress website, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, I wasn't really feeling it. And then someone told me, like, look, you could just get on TronScan and you could see the DEX on TronScan. And I was like, get out of here. So I went on the DEX on TronScan. It was right there. And I was like, this is cool. It's really nice. It's pretty sleek. The only thing about it that I'm not crazy about is that you can't put limit orders yet. And I think they may be doing that. And I said this morning in a video. Yeah, I think the reason why they're doing that is because they don't want too many people setting too many orders, which I think may kind of clog up the network a bit. Because if you ever, I don't know if you've traded Beats before and you've been on IDEX, which I call the Section 8 of you know, of of crypto for the most part. You know, it's like it's one of those sites that you know, you got to put your coins on MetaMask, and it takes forever to actually push the order through and things like that. And I'm just not feeling it, you know. And I was like, I want to get away from my decks at one point because you know it's too hard to buy. It's a pain in the butt, you know. And I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. And then Tron Dex came around. I'm like, you know what, now I can pick up some coins that are running on Tron.
Oh yeah, long term, cool. The Tron Dex is gonna be amazing. Just because, man, like if you realize it, we are in the ecosystem already, and this is only the beginning, man. This ecosystem is already functioning well, and that Dex, you know, takes it to another level. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's the best thing for us, but like at least right now, but it's still long term. I mean, I think it's going to be a huge player. And then you got some other decks too.
Yeah, well, you got Tron Watch Market coming out, which is going to be huge. That's going to be a really good platform, to my understanding. Now, the thing about Tron is that it's actually a good thing. You can't really look at it as a bad thing at all with the deck. The fact that we have all these other coins running on the Tron network is already huge.
Are you not concerned, though, about the, like, I don't want to call them the crap coins, but, I mean...
You're going to get
the ones that, dude. You know, well, yeah. The ones that don't have enough info. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's that one called a Ton coin that everybody says is potentially a scam and whatnot. There's some coins on there. I'm not going to mention them right now, but there's some coins on there that are actually good, that I've looked into, that I've heard about, that I've done a little research on. And those coins are, you know, listen, we need to have these coins like BeatzCoin or whatever on these dexes. And the reason is because people are going to give them value. That's how we value things. The more coins that we have on Tron that we value, the more looks Tron is going to get. You get what I'm saying? Like, more people are going to be intrigued to actually buy Tron, to be able to buy these tokens. And yeah, some of them are going to be crap tokens and some of them are going to be scams. But at the end of the day, that's inevitable. That's happened on Ethereum. As you know, I mean, so much stuff has happened on Ethereum. And the fact of the matter is that it's all decentralized. No one cares. You can do whatever you want. I mean, on the Tron deck, you can name your coin like the whole alphabet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you looked at it, but there's some coins that are like, you know, like Tron this do, and you're like, what? I got to type in that ticker symbol. You know, so it's in a decentralized network. You're gonna get these scams, and you're gonna get this BS. Is there a way to like mitigate that? I really don't know, and I think that's something that will get worked out as time goes on. However, I just believe that it's inevitable. I mean, there's been stocks that have been in the stock market that were scams, and pretty much they're all scams, in my opinion.
Well, it's up to the super reps, man. It's up to the super reps, and I think most of them are doing a good job. We've run into some issues, but I like how the community gets together and, you know, they attempt to find the best possible solution.
Yeah, and I'm actually going to do a video. I got to do a little more research, but I'm in contact with a couple of super representatives now that that are, you know, kind of asking me to address the community about the super representatives, because there's some super representatives that may be coming into the space that could be trying to buy themselves in a way when they're not really like doing much for the community. And I think that could be a problem that Tron could see in the future.
Yeah, honestly, dude, I have thought about this a lot. All you have to do is convince one rich guy. You convince one rich guy that, hey man, Tron is the future and you're going to get interest on your Tron. You know, give me $2 million and I will earn you interest on that $2 million and we'll be a super rep. Because that's all you need. $2 million right now will probably buy you about 150 million Tron. And that'll be, you know, just enough to get you into a super rep. But that's a problem, or a potential problem. But it's awesome that they're trying to figure out a way to rid the system of those people, you know, or those potential people.
Yeah, that's definitely a concern, and it is something that needs to be worked out, and I'm sure it will. I mean, Tron has basically nipped everything in the butt ever since there's an issue or whatnot. They're usually getting, I think the biggest issue I ever had with Tron, you know, and some people contact me too, like, Tone, what's going on with Tron scan? Sometimes it's slow. Lately, no problems. super fast on the network. Everything is good. A couple of weeks ago, maybe even a little more than a month ago, you would freeze your coins and it would take a little bit, and there was a couple of glitches here and there. Some super representatives weren't paying out on time, but it was all nipped in the bud quick, and no one really felt it. No one really felt it. It wasn't even really news. And that's a good thing that they did that. I mean, you look at the team that Tron has. It's massive. I mean, they have a ton. They have like it's like a football team pitcher. Yeah, they got with Justin Sun there, like even like 50
it's more
people.
than that, dude. It's more.
Yeah,
like 500 employees at least.
Yeah, there's tons, and I mean, they got offices in San Francisco now. They're out in Singapore. I mean, they're doing big things, and it just really goes to show that they took the money that they made from ICO and from the bull run, and they put it to good use. They really did what they said they were going to do. So I have really no reason to believe that Tron is ever going to fail in the long run. I mean, it's just too good of an ecosystem right now. The way that it flows and the way that these coins move, it's unbelievable. Like I said, I was sending some coins last night, and they weren't TRX tokens, they were just other tokens, and it was like super quick, dude. I'm like, wow, I was going from my guild chat, sending coins over to another address, and it was super quick, and everything's just, like, I don't like to say flawless, but
it's efficient. It's efficient.
It's efficient as anything. I mean, that's what we need as investors. And I always say to people, I love coins that give incentives. And with Tron Scan, you're getting incentives. Voting for a super representative that you believe is going to be helpful to the community, and not just the one that's going to pay you the most, but helpful to the community, is where you should be putting your votes so that we as investors could continue to thrive in this ecosystem.
Yeah, and
the more we vote for... Go ahead.
I was going to say, the cool thing is that it's realistic incentives. It's not like, we're promising you the moon. You're not getting like, if you have 100K Tron, you're not going to earn, 10,000 Tron a month. That's just not how it works. Like, it's very realistic, but at the same time, it's better than anything else out there. It's definitely better than having your money in a savings account earning, a few cents every month. Right.
I mean, there's a lot of these, like I mentioned, the lending platforms, they offer too much. Whenever it's too good to be true, it is. And I've really learned that in crypto, let me tell you. So I know that what I'm getting into now. When I switched over to really looking at altcoins, I said, why would I be getting into these lending platforms and trying to make money now when I can try and make money for the future when the bull run comes and these coins actually do what they say that they're going to do? Tron's one of them. Tron's one of the coins that they're doing everything that they're saying that they're going to do. And there's a lot of other ones too that I like. And the incentives are just, that's where it's at, in my opinion. If you get a coin like VeChain that's paying out in VSTOR or VSO token, NEO pays out in gas. What's another? Ontology pays out in ONG coins. So there's these coins that already have these incentives in place for people to actually gain a little bit more. Now, the thing I like about Tron is that you're actually getting paid in the coin that you love, which is TRX. So every time you go on Tron Scan, you could bet your ASS that you're going to have some TRX the next day. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to get those coins without a doubt. So it's just great to see that the community is big. Everything's flowing lovely. We have a DEX now. You're coming out with Tron Watch Market, things like that. I mean, it just gets better every day. It's like every time I do a video on Tron, I'm like, I learned something new. And that's why, as an investor, I kind of like to do the videos, because I learn when I'm actually reading an article or something like that. I read it, and I get more knowledgeable, and I'm able to kind of pass that knowledge off to other people that may not want to do videos. And I understand, not everybody wants to have a YouTube channel and sit there day in, day out and make videos and clip art and stuff like this. I mean, look, I was making no money doing that for a while. And I got the channel monetized now. I got enough subs. I'm not making a lot of money. I tell people, look, I'm making gas money on it. I don't care about that. That's not what I care about. What I care about is the community and me getting more knowledgeable and being able to pass that knowledge to everybody else. Kind of helps me, and it helps Tron as an investor. The bigger army that Tron has behind it, and the more people that talk about it, the more people are going to be intrigued by it.
That's the awesome thing, because there's a lot of people like you. You're not the only one. You're fantastic at what you do, but let's be honest, you're not the only one doing it.
What do you mean, the YouTube videos?
Yeah, no. As far I must have threw you off guard there. No, I mean, like, you're not the only one that's part of the army. Like, this army is huge. Like, you're doing YouTube videos
okay.
while other people are
I
doing
think
other
you're
things.
talking about YouTube. Yeah, no, I'm like, what are you talking about? Everybody's doing YouTube. No, I get what you're saying. Like, there's an army on Twitter. There's guys on Twitter that are just like all day about Tron. And I respect them. I really do.
Yep.
And I shout
Mob
them out
Rules,
too
Risha, a lot of these guys.
when I get on my channel. Yeah, a lot of these guys are big on it, and they're putting the FUDsters to bed. I mean, everybody is sleeping right now on it because they're salty because they're like, oh yeah, that was a scam back in the day. Well, where you at now? You know what I'm saying?
let me tell you a funny story about a FUDster, because like you were saying before, like the FUDsters are almost all gone. Like there's nobody talking mess about Tron. But I have a Telegram group. It's got about 1,000, 1,500 people. And it's not a Tron group. It's It's a straight up crypto altcoins. They have like a little bot in there where you could pull up different charts for different coins. But we talk Tron here and there. And there was this one dude who came and started talking mess about Tron. Bro, like I went in there, like I went in hard, man, because I don't know, man. He just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And before I know it, these guys just came and attacked, and like they pretty much told him to shut up.
I'm telling you, that's what they do on my YouTube. They come at these guys, and we're all attacking together because we believe that this is going to be big, and we have no reason to believe it's not because they're not failing us.
Yeah, well,
people don't realize that.
Let me finish the story. Let me finish the story. This guy goes, and it's the same FUD. Oh, copy white paper, copy. That's all they say. And then, Justin Sun, all he does is hype things up. Man, we shut that to rest. And now every time this guy is on the, he doesn't talk any more trash, because we would kind of troll him a little bit, to be honest with you. And now he's like, no, I respect Tron. He doesn't say anything bad about it. Wow, so he knows better.
And you know what? I'm not surprised, because I've had people come on my channel and say the same thing. And they're like, wow, you know what? Some people see the light, but then some people get salty and they don't want to see the light. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to stick to my guns. This is a POS, and I'm not even gonna work with it. I've said it time and time again. Tron is a 13-watt light bulb. Ethereum is the 60-watt that no one wants anymore. You get a 60-watt light bulb at the dollar store. You know, you want to get quality. You want to save money on your electricity over time. You go and get the 13-watt. That's what Tron is for the most part. That's the best way to put it. And the fact that, you can't go on Etherscan and make ETH. Like, you can't do that. You can't vote for anybody. You can't do any of that stuff. It's old and clunky at this point, which is sad because it's still fairly new at the end of the day if you really think about it. And yeah, they're gonna push it into, I still have faith in it. They're gonna push it to proof of stake, and they also you got stable coins from Coinbase and from Gemini already on the Ethereum network, which is amazing. So it's not like it's going anywhere. It's just these fourth generation coins or third generation coins, whatever you want to call them, like Tron. They're the new thing. They're like, wait a second, we can improve on this, we can improve on that. Everything gets improved on as time goes on, and that's just a given. So people can't just come out here and say, Tron is a copy white paper and Tron is a clone. It's not. There's so many other new things that were put on top of it to make it better than the competitors. That's what happened. Look, Toys R Us just went out of business. Supposedly they're coming back, but you got Amazon. No one wants to go shopping anymore. Everybody wants to just go online because why? Because it's cheaper. As much as people hate Walmart, and I hate Walmart when you go there late at night and you see what you see at Walmart, man, it's kind of crazy. But look, if I gotta get something at 11 o'clock at night or 1 in the morning, I gotta go to Walmart because they're open and they're cheaper than all these other places like Publix and Winn-Dixie and all these places by me. Back in New Jersey, you got ShopRite. You got all these. No one goes there anymore like that because it doesn't make sense. People want to save money now. We're not in a situation that our grandparents were, and I always make that point too. My grandfather used to make money on his money when he owned his business back in the day. And the banks used to pay 15%, stupid numbers like that. And people could buy their house with cash. We can't do that anymore. Can't do that anymore. So we are in a disadvantage in that way because we have to shop at Walmart because we're forced to. We have no choice. And, it just really goes to show how much the dollar has depleted. And now we're over here trying to figure out what the next big thing is going to be, and we all think that's going to be crypto, and I think Tron's a huge part of that already, and it's going to continue to grow.
Definitely,
I think to grow.
Man, we can open up another door that would take us on a conversation for hours, just talking about the current economy and the currency and compare it to Bitcoin. Man, that'll take forever. But I want to say thank you because you made
on this podcast for like 8 hours.
I know, dude. It'll be like one of those marathons, right? But I want to say thanks because you made a BeatzCoin video. I'm glad they told you about the project, and you're kind of supporting us by making videos like that. Really appreciate it. So our podcast, we try to. Lately, I've been having mostly musicians on, but we like to have crypto figures and influencers within the community. But we do gotta keep music involved there. So I want to know what type of music you like to listen to, or what did you grow up listening to?
Well, I grew up listening to mainly hip hop, rap. I mean, I was big on DMX and Eminem, and my stepbrother was a really big influence in my life at one point. He had moved into my house when I was like 12 years old, and he was like 18. So for me, he was like God. He had all these girlfriends, this, that, and the third, and I was like, wow, I got to be like this dude. And he kind of got me into it, and I was already kind of leaning into it with like Busta Rhymes and things like that, and I just kind of fell in love with it. And I mean, nowadays, man, when I look at hip hop, I'm like, I don't listen to music like I used to, unfortunately, because I think that with hip hop right now, it's like it's in a state of I honestly think ever since Drake came out, he made it really soft in the whole community. And I like Drake. I like his music. I think he's good. But at the end of the day, you got all these fake bootleg rappers coming out, and they're just terrible. So it's kind of sad to see that whole situation kind of unfold, because I grew up listening to guys like Eminem, was like one of my top favorites right there, D12, the whole nine. So that kind of influenced me. I mean, I've always been into like 80s rock and things like that, but nothing. The majority of the music that I listened to when I was a kid was pretty much hip hop, 50 Cent, things like that. All my friends did. That's what we all listened to. We loved it. We used to have the JL audio subs in the back of the whip, and everybody had a big sub, and we were all driving down the street with our subs blasting, music blasting. We used to go and get mixtapes, with the CDs and everything.
Yeah,
that died.
You'd usually have a guy at school that would make you a CD, charge you like $5, and he'd put like 20 songs on there.
Yep.
I remember the days, man.
Make me a mixtape. I would tell everybody. And then I started doing them when MP3s came out, and you could put like 150 songs on one CD, and that was awesome at that point. And it's crazy to think, like, oh my God, I'm so old, that I used to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
And now look at what we do. I mean, I literally don't buy music. For what? I don't go to the store and buy music. I haven't done it in forever. I mean, I used to do Napster and all that stuff. I mean, everybody did it, A lot of people got scared away by when that guy got arrested. I remember that. What was his name? The guy from Napster. Shit, I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you hit on a problem right there, because we got a time where no one wants to buy music, but the way that streaming works, and we can't knock on streaming because it's very efficient for all of us, right? Like, who's complaining about streaming? But we have to look at the other end of things, like the artists themselves. They're not making money, dude.
I know.
Unless you're Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Katy Perry, these people, you're not making money off of streaming. You're making what, $700 for every 100,000 plays, and you have to split that money with labels and everything. And in future podcasts, and we'll be releasing information so people understand how difficult it is to make it as an artist. And that's what we're trying to do with BeatzCoin.
Yeah.
Just like Tron has the ecosystem, we want to have that whole music and digital content ecosystem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now see if you can, I remember reading somewhere, I think it was in the white paper somewhere, you can actually earn BeatzCoin from listening and things like that. Is that right?
Right.
See, so that's cool, because now, like I said, everybody wants to be incentivized these days. No one wants to pay for anything. Because why? Why do we need to pay for it when we can just basically get it for free? But if we can earn something while we're listening and still at the same time support the artist, I think it's a genius idea. Because if I could, for example, the Brave browser, if I use the Brave browser, I could tip people like YouTube guys or something like that with Brave coins. And that's pretty cool because now I can actually give an incentive off to somebody, and Brave actually pays you. They get like when you're using the browser. So not only are you getting paid to use the browser, now you can pay other people with their token, and then they can use their token for something else. And that kind of ties into Beats and what they're trying to do. And I just think it's super cool because, like you said, I mean, there's, MP3s are gone, all this stuff is gone. You go on the Fire Stick, and you know what you could do with the Fire Stick. I mean, come on, no one goes to the movies anymore. No one can afford it. No one wants to pay. Well, why am I going to pay $10 for a movie when I can just sit home and Netflix and chill type thing? I mean, it's just people are lazy, and they don't want to go to the. I don't want to go and pay $10-15 a ticket. That's crazy. I could have just streamed it. And then you go home and you're thinking about, damn, I could have just streamed it because that movie sucked. You know what I'm saying? Like
that's true.
Like I wasted my money.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, also, you don't realize how much you're spending, right? You think, oh, because you're used to it. It's in your budget. It's worth it to you. I'm going to spend $15 or whatever it is for Apple Music every month. But I don't have the numbers right in front of me. It'll get to the point where you'll actually be spending less money and listening to the same amount of music, if not more, by using our ViberBid platform and BeatzCoin. And then when you do want to support the artist and spend a little more or spend the same, at least you know that the artist is going to get more of the money in the long run. And then that's going to free them up, man. Because if you knew the life of a musician, it's tough, man. It's tough. That's why I like getting these musicians on there so they could tell us, there is no like, I'm going to be a musician and I'm going to make 80 grand a year. 80 grand, it's good too. Or 60 grand even. Like, you can live in a simple house and, pay your bills and live normally. But that doesn't exist. Mm-hmm. You're either like rich or you're dirt poor. You're barely making it, so it's very tough.
I know how it is, man. It's definitely very tough, and it's gotten worse. It's gotten worse because the only way for really artists to make money is to go on tour. They got to go on tour. They got to work.
And selling $40 T-shirts.
Yeah, and selling T-shirts because some people want to do the physical things like go and see an artist, on tour or something like that. They want to actually go and see the person in physical form. But for the majority of people now, we don't need to do that anymore. So it just makes people more lazy. They don't have to actually get up and go with that excitement to go to Blockbuster and get some popcorn and rent a movie anymore. That's gone. All of that is gone. All those cool things that we used to do as a kid are gone. And it's because people aren't making the majority of the people aren't making the money that they should be making based on the fact that the U.S. dollar just keeps depleting. So guess what? The only way for us to fight against that is to try and get things for free. And that's what everybody is doing. And that's why everybody loves things like the Fire Stick and whatnot. And YouTube, you want to listen to a song, you go on YouTube, you get it for free right there. Why do you have to have it? So a lot of people nowadays don't feel the need to actually own it. They could just listen to it, be done with it, go watch another video and get more information out of that video, or watch another.
So what do you think?
Another song or whatnot.
Yeah. So what do you think off the top of your head, like some ideas for us over at ViberBid and the ViberBid platform with BeatzCoin as a currency? Like, you have any thoughts or suggestions or questions?
If you have like artists that are that are interested in trying to make money and not just live on the fringes like you're saying, then they're going to want to get involved with something like this. I really feel that right now with incentivization, that's the biggest key. And I think with what BeatzCoin is trying to do by offering some type of incentivization to the listener, that's going to be big. Because again, like I said, people don't want to do anything. They don't want to have to get up and go and grab that CD or pay for that thing or whatever. It just makes total sense. And this is what the future is coming to, on kind of unfortunately in a way, but fortunately as well, because we're ruled by technology now. Like I mentioned, everybody has a smartphone in their pocket, and the biggest supercomputer in 1988 was the size of a Walmart, and now you have that supercomputer in your phone, which is basically everything. You have everything you need in your phone down to a flashlight. So, I mean, why do I even need to buy a flashlight anymore? I don't need to. It's the same thing with CDs. Why do I need to go and buy a CD? I don't need to, because I could just get it on YouTube. You can literally go on a road trip and do everything on YouTube as long as you have service. With cell phone service getting even better and more competitive, in rather than later, you're going to have everywhere in the world have cell phone towers everywhere, and everybody's going to be able to do this.
All we need is adoption, man. All we need is adoption. Once we make it easier for people to use, it's going to blow up. And I think for the Vibrabid platform and for BeatzCoin to be as successful as it could possibly be, we need people using it, right? So that's why we're actually working on endorsing with artists and giving them access to use the platform in the beginning. So, because nobody's going to go use the platform if there's not enough musicians on it,
Exactly. You got to incentivize the musician to roll with the idea. And, again, with that incentivization right there, you say, look, we could get you more looks or whatnot, and our viewers will be able to, kind of earn in a way, as opposed to going on YouTube and not earning anything. So again, back to the incentivization thing, I think that's key. Because again, people do not want to go to the store without a coupon these days. You know what I mean? Well, if I can go to Target with a coupon, why wouldn't I go to, I could go to Walmart, or I could go to Target, whatever. Get the example I'm trying to put across. Basically, people want to pay less, they want to get things for less, and that's just how it is these days. Is that people don't see the point in having to pay. So if we can get a platform like Vibrabid to get artists on there to incentivize people to listen, I don't see why something like that would fail. Once people start hearing more about Tron, they're going to get on Tron Scam. They're going to vote their Tron. They're going to earn more TRX once they get comfortable with the platform. Nobody's comfortable with anything right now, really, in crypto. If you look at the masses, a lot of people don't even know what it is. A lot of people don't understand it. Why do I need to use cryptocurrency when I could just use the money that I got in my pocket? I mean, so
music
kind of.
Music is a part of the entertainment system that's going to really change things if we do it the right way. So I'm excited because we've got some things in our back pocket. We've got some artists that are going to be coming out and supporting us. So we're excited about it. Definitely a lot of work to do, but everything that you said kind of it revolves around the whole ecosystem and just the deflationary value. All that stuff, man. It's going to be, we're in for a wild ride.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I think if BeatzCoin could accomplish all the things that they say that they can, which I believe they could, it's a fairly new system. Yeah, it's a fairly new system, and people just got to get involved. People need to know about it. I mean, ever since the bull run happened and then, everything just died out, people have kind of lost faith a bit, but it's good because that I'm still in, and learning things about this, because in my opinion, this is going to be the future. I mean, what else could be the future? It's all based on technology, and moving money from one hand to another simply is what people want. People want simplicity. You shouldn't have to go to the bank to be able to send money to China. You should be able to do that directly from your phone. And we're coming up with those with those technologies with crypto. So crypto is going to revolutionize everything, not just money, but music as well. Because music has obviously, evolved greatly in the past 20 years, with my examples from before, from records to 8-tracks to tapes to CDs to MP3s. Now where are we? Now we're kind of at that crossroad where, artists aren't getting paid and people are still listening to music because they like it, and artists want to put out music, but a lot of them can't because, like you said, they're not making any money. And in order for us to all live and eat, we have to make money. And you know what? That's probably it just kind of dawned on me. It's probably a big reason why music is kind of flopped, especially hip hop in the past 10 years. I mean, they're getting taken out by technology. Why don't we embrace the technology? So, in my opinion, BeatzCoin embracing the technology is a mega plus for crypto and just for the world in general. So it's really only time will tell, with things like this to come to fruition.
That is a freaking beautiful way to wrap things up right there.
Yeah, man. I'll send you a bill. For that. But no, I mean, I truly believe that because, like I said, I'm into crypto. I believe in crypto. I think that people will eventually understand crypto and believe in it. And it's, like I said, it's just a matter of time, and we just got to hold on tight, hold on for dear life, hodl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Tone, man, it was It was awesome. This conversation was awesome, and I'm sure we could have gone 2 or 3 more hours. But tell me let's end it with tell me what you're up to. What's going on? You planning any YouTube videos? I know we're working on a contest that you and me are going to work on pretty soon. But you got anything else going on?
Yep. Listen, man, I really just take it day by day. Pretty much, I am going to be doing a video on Beats soon, just because I want to get the word out there. However, I just, every day I wake up, I find out new information. I put it out there. Information comes so quick now, and I just like to really put it out there. So I really kind of just take it easy, man. I don't plan anything ahead, and I think that's why a lot of my subscribers kind of stick with me, because I shoot off the top of my head. It's kind of like, I freestyle these videos. I don't come with, you can get some of those YouTubers that are reading off a pamphlet, and they sound all robotic. And people don't want to listen
off the
to
teleprompter.
that, man.
No, they want real people with real emotions, and you can feel that when you talk or when I talk to you, when anyone talks to you, or when we hear you, right? So that's awesome, man. For anyone who is not subscribed to your channel, it is Crypto Tone, just like it sounds, on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. Yep. That is, you'll get a dosage of realness and a heavy dosage of Tron there.
Yep. Like, subscribe. Turn on notifications. I like it.
Click the bell.
Yeah, man, click the bell. I have that's another thing too. I have my intro and my outro, and I think that's kind of a big part of,
I love
people
it.
Always tell me,
what's up, YouTube? Your boy, Crypto Tone. I love that, man. Keep it up.
People get amped up about it, and I feel the same way. It's like when I start my videos like that and end my videos, I get amped up because I know people are feeling it, people, and you can see from, like I said, from the subscribers and things like that. And, I'm just really glad to be in this space, and I don't really like to brag or anything like that. I mean, I don't have a ton of subscribers. 5,000 is great. I'm grateful for everybody. And there's other guys out there with more, but I really just feel that the community right now is just only growing. So when the bull market comes, I really feel that the brand,
you're going to go from
growing,
5 to 25,000 in weeks. Watch, you'll see.
Yeah, that's what guys were doing when they were doing, some guys on their live streams, they were getting thousands of views. I mean, I do a live stream, I get 20 people, and I'm happy with that, at the end of the day. But Rome wasn't built in a day, man. You got to build this. And I've taken a huge sacrifice, kind of coming out of real estate and really just getting into these future technologies that I really believe in. And, it's rubbing off on other people. And I always tell them, it's not financial advice. I'm not your dad. I'm not your grandpa. Don't get at me with that, But people understand. I mean, people understand. And again, they want to watch somebody and listen to somebody who's giving them real, raw information and not just, price predictions and all that. I hate watching those videos where the guys are like, they put a clip art with the crazy price predictions. And I've done a couple of look, this isn't my prediction. It's their prediction. And you'll get a ton more views. But that's not really what I'm in it for. I'm in it to bring knowledge to people, get people into crypto, just because we need more people to do it. And I encourage anybody, make a YouTube channel if you feel like you can, because you can. You don't have to, if you want to be a part of it and you want to spread the word and you want crypto to get big, that's what you got to do, This is what it is.
Hey, man, you don't have to say it what you're doing, because we can tell, we feel it, man, and we love you for it. So thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate you coming on, and can't wait to just listen and watch more videos and just keep it up, and with more information.
I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate you having me on the podcast. I can't wait to, down the line, maybe we do some more and just, talk about crypto.
Most definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I'm not going anywhere. So, like I said, I'm just doing my thing and keep it going with crypto and keep spreading the word. That's what I do.
Thanks, bro. That wraps up podcast number 8. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to stay in touch with me at ProGera on Twitter. Keep track of the project at BeatzCoin. We have so much going on, and this is just the beginning. I really appreciate all the people who have already reached out to me. I've made some great connections, great relationships, and they will be on the podcast. This is definitely community driven. So spread the word out so we can get that community to grow more and more, and we can all learn from each other. All right, guys, thanks again, and I'll see you next time.